We are here with the next part of our video lecture series, Q&A discussion in motion. Let's take some of Ezel's questions, starting with the Blakeman chapter or chapters this week, looking at starting with chapter 12, television advertising. What did Blakeman mean when she said advertising is not only entertaining, but also useful? Give an example. Okay, advertising, entertaining and useful. We laugh, we cry, we consume. Okay, we raise the value of a product by the nature of us enjoying its ads. We help elevate its stock prices. Someone gets a raise. Okay, someone gets to benefit from that, right? The retirement for employees stabilizes or goes up. Okay, when we're celebrating a company and championing it as the best, we keep building this myth of the American dream. All right, and so for some people that becomes a reality, and then while others, for others, it remains a kind of a distant thing. But that's an example in broad strokes of what we mean by advertising can be both entertaining and useful. And then, of course, if we are accurately fulfilling the tenets of our weekly eye care assignment, we are finding utility in the assessment of advertising, all right, in our ability to decode or deconstruct advertisements. We gain advantage by understanding how these ads have internal mechanisms that form powerful social, financial, cultural, political, ideological persuasion over us. 15 seconds versus infomercials. Which form of commercials are most enticing when looking to purchase something? Give an example of what you think Blakeman meant. Page 175. It depends on the audience. Again, it's not a cop-out, it's a reality. It depends on the audience, depends on the product, and it depends on how the advertiser connects those two. All right, and it also, hey, remember McLuhan, right? The medium is the message. So sometimes it depends on the medium. Very potent. The medium is the message. That slogan could not be more relevant today. As we've seen in how social media is changing everything from our attention spans to our bottom lines to how well or poorly we get along with one another, how divisive or inclusive we are. Okay, it is proving to be the digital realm is this human threshold. Okay, and we are each negotiating what that should mean for us. Okay, not that. Let's talk about Marcel Danisi, popular culture. Introductory perspectives. Chapter 8 on television. Since the invention of television, John Baird, a British electrical engineer, how has television changed since its invention? Well, it's continued to evolve. Programming, advertising strategies, its technological capabilities, its audience reach. Does television still have the same effect today since the rise of the internet and social media? Yes and no. TV is not as powerful as a single medium, as a single dominant medium, but it is still powerful as an industry force, right? As an existing force for large social persuasion, cultivation. We've read about cultivation theory, media, culture, social influence as well. This is why it's not just a single book either. It's not just a single chapter. It's not just a single course. But that Apple 1984 ad, titled 1984, that is both referenced here and we engage in different ways. This ad is so potent, right? So worthy of attention and discussion because it highlights that sort of omnipresence of what television, it doesn't even have to be, it can just signify that kind of power and meaning to people, right? You can buy into thinking of TV as this giant monolithic thing, that this giant oppressive entity, and it has that sort of psychic power over you, over your perception of reality, and it not even function that way or exist like that, right? It's just because it's such a persuasive medium, we can, you know, project those kinds of qualities onto it. Give a brief explanation of how television has changed today. Streaming, digital selections that we have. This the illusion of choice, right? Whether you're saying choice or air quotes choice. Berger, the Berger text in our readings this week, he writes about, quote, the agony of choice, page 93. That subsection starts on. Highly recommend it. It's excellent. Danisi replied, reality TV programs clutter the primetime airwaves. What does Danisi mean by this remark? Do reality TV shows have a negative effect on its viewers, or does it educate them in real life affairs? No. We're going to go negative Will Roger on the reality TV equals educational tools. But in terms of what does he mean by the reality TV programs clutter the primetime airwaves, this is classic witty writing on the part of Berger, right? And whether you love or loathe reality TV. Reality TV littered the streets, okay? You think of the streets, the channels of the medium itself, of TV, due to its low cost. Reality TV is relatively low in cost, and at the same time has seen spikes of high consumer demand. It's easy. If you thought TV was easy to watch before, reality TV is even easier. I mean, there's that old adage that we grew away from of television as the idiot box, a little bit of a sort of a high culture, low culture sophistication, right? Like we're judging television as, you know, the lowbrow distraction of the masses, and for some it can be that, but it's not everything to everyone. It's different things to different people. But reality TV littered the streets, metaphorically, of TV due to low cost and consumer demand. People, you know, give me my fast food reality TV. But reality TV arguably also lowered the quality of television. But you can say it lowered the quality of television, primetime broadcasting television, and then what was the recourse, right? What was the reverb? How did the pendulum swung? And cable TV became this go-to aesthetic paradise for sophisticated, dramatic, and sometimes comedic TV writing. All right, and you know, so it's like culture swings in one direction as a result of one thing, and then it swings back in the other direction. And you know, we see these kinds of cycles all the time. Speaking of Berger. In chapter 4, running it up a flagpole to see if anyone salutes. Today, consumers are looking for ways to eliminate commercials from their broadcast shows, page 94. How would this affect advertisers today? So eliminating ads, this would decrease sales. This would decrease profits. This would decrease jobs. It would thus decrease growth of both the ad industry and TV stations, and it creates a downward dip for the company overall. And then the company, you know, when the company suffers, then the bottom line suffers. The stock market prices go down, and so now people's you think about, only people that are buying stock in, I don't know, X product are impacted? Well, when it's tethered to banks, and then all of a sudden, thousands and millions of people, and their retirement is earning less interest, or it is decreasing in value, and they can't change that. Okay. Once again, right? Toys R Us, right? Rest in peace, Jeffrey. In the future, would this become a problem for business? Yes. That depends heavily on advertising. Yes. Give ways of how advertisers can compel us consumers, compel to tune in and listen to their commercials. If I knew the $1 billion question on advertising, I would not have left advertising as a profession. Okay, so that's like a tongue-in-cheek joke, but yeah, if we all had the secret formula and the genie's bottle, would we share it? Would we? What would reality look like? Berger talks about the complexity in television commercials. Why is the color of background, sound, among others, listed so important in TV commercials or commercials in general? So looking at page 183 there. To sell a product, you first have to sell it and devise it through story, right? How are you going to, what is the story of a given ad? And even a still print image is, you're telling a story. A radio ad, you're telling a story. The story could just be pure information, just like all cinema is storytelling. Okay, it can be surrealist, it can be traditional narrative, it can be mythic. It's not just genres of storytelling. It's all storytelling. Okay, a documentary is storytelling. It's informative. It's a variation of real life storytelling. Okay, so you've got animation, storytelling. All advertising is also storytelling. We just know, the ending is about selling something, and then the story is about convincing the consumer that there is a need for that thing, okay, in their lives. Berger uses the term the brainwasher's message. To your understanding, give a brief example of what Berger meant by that term, brainwasher's message, page 191. Okay, here's an example that came to mind when reading this question in conversation with that topic. I got to thinking about people that are addicted to Alex Jones and his radio / internet / whatever show, InfoWars, okay? People are addicted to InfoWars, like what you call a hardcore listener, a hardcore viewer, and they are, that average listener, especially to be addicted to it, they heavily buy in. So they agree with that message. Going back to questions earlier from William, questions about those impacts and what it takes, our biases, right, that we bring to our program. You probably chose that program for a reason, but if you're addicted to InfoWars, you're constantly fed these claims, argumentative claims about things like the deep state conspiracies, toxic mind control and paranoia of government, right? All these kinds of things. And so you're told to also, at the same time, buy things like vitamins or, whatever products being sponsored at the time. So I visited the website, and here's some, I know. Now they've got my information, my cookies. But here's what I found. The types of stuff they're selling. Super Male Vitality, right? Alpha Power, the Ultimate Turmeric Product, Bodies, InfoWars app itself, Secret 12 Vitamin B12, whatever. Immune Well books, Killing the Deep State, the Politically Incorrect Guide to Climate Change, Organic Urban Garden Seed Kit, and so on and so. Emergency Survival Food section, Radio Survival Accessories, Nuclear and Biological. Transform yourself into Negan the Doomsday Prepper with your InfoWars kit. More questions to come right after this.